All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we get into hotline calls. It's going to be a little bit of a hotline day today. Got a couple of calls we'll go through and talk about in the Junction. I got some LPDS universe updates, current events updates, what have yous, Yankees updates. And what I would say would be one of the more surprising Cage facts we've had in a little while. So I'll let you guys be the judge, but shocking Cage fact, in my opinion, and we'll explain why. All that's coming up right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti. It's a show that talks about nothing, but finds the lessons and everything. Try to have a good time doing it, sharing some laughs and some lessons and some what have yous and some entertainment, hopefully, for you guys. Certainly entertaining for me. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good week. It's heat wave season here in Texas. The August heat wave is taking over. Hot all the time, no matter where you go, what time of day. I'm okay with it. The only issue, I guess you could say, that I have with it is I gotta make sure the plants are okay. And I'm still trying to work up the courage to ask my neighbor to help me out with watering the plants. I might look up on the internets how to, some automatic sprinkler timers and stuff like that, and hook it up to the hose and try to make it happen that way. So I'm not bothering anybody with it, because I do feel bad. My neighbor is such a helpful guy. He never asks for anything and I don't, and there's, I'm out of ideas of how to return the favors. So I'm trying to figure out that. I was thinking about getting a gift card to a nice steakhouse. Maybe he likes that. I don't know. I want to help him as well, so I feel bad just constantly asking, can you check my mail? Can you water my plants? Whatever. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to look up some timer sprinklers or whatever they're called, time sprinklers, automatics. How you doing? And if that doesn't work out, then I'll bite the bullet. I'll come bearing gifts and try to bribe him into it. Hopefully he'll say yes, and we can keep the plants going. I will give an update on the tomatoes, though. We all know the peppers are doing great. The plants are flush with peppers and flower buds to make more peppers. They're doing really well, in my opinion. The tomatoes, I finally got some coming through. It seems like a small thing. But you all know here at the LPDS that it's been a long time since we had tomatoes on our plants. Between taking years off to storms destroying my plants in Maryland to having to cut them down early when I moved. So it's been a long time. It's been several years since we got tomatoes back on there. So I'm very excited. We got a couple on there sprouting, very young, obviously. It's going to take a while for them to ripen up and be able to pick them out. Hopefully, I either want them to be ready quick so I can pull them, or take extra time to ripen up and go super slow with it so that I can pick them when I get back from my NJ road trip. That's the idea. That's the ideal. That's the sweet spot there, that they're still growing. I got the watering figured out, and that I don't have to, worry about rotting tomatoes on the vine or asking someone again to help harvest while I'm gone. Just tough timing with the how late I planted, and also the climate here, the way things grow. If I planted early if I planted Texas timeline, I would have been flush with tomatoes and peppers already. Would have been good to go. But because I started late, I'm on like the second window which is harvest time is later, summer, fall time. So I'm okay with it. I think my friends and family might be a little antsy in the pantsy about it because they're used to Northeast timelines and they're getting tomatoes growing and vegetables and all this good stuff. And I'm just not. But patience is the key. It's the name of the game here. Patience and consistency with taking care of your plants. A lot of positive talk to them. Got to keep them motivated and inspired to keep growing and being fruitful. So that's the update on the tomatoes and the peppers. I'm excited for it. They're a little bit of a hurdle with this trip coming up, again, because of the timing of planting them and the Texas seasons. And I have to go up for this trip. There's family stuff that I'm doing, that I'm going to do. That's good stuff. It's not bad stuff, but that's the priority. Family. Not, unfortunately, not tomatoes. So good updates all around with that. I'm gonna change the subject a little bit here, a lot of it here. This is for the 1.3 women that tune into this show. And if you're a fella with a significant other or a spouse, get them on this section here in the current event spot, because I have a question and I need some clarity on it. I need some help on this, because I'm a dumb guy when it comes to women. I'm not going to pretend to be like I know anything about women. I'm certainly not the cool guy behind the mic who's going to start making assumptions and gross proclamations on women like some of these dudes do on the internets. I don't know. I know one thing about women, and it's that they don't like me. So that's a joke, folks. For all you out there who take that seriously, that's a joke. I'm sure women like me, maybe. I'm not too worried about it, though. But I don't know much about women. I'm not going to pretend to know much about women. But what I've noticed, and this is the question I have because it boggles my mind, and I want to be able to do it myself. Women have this ability to sit either on the floor, whether it's, like Indian style, no, like not against the wall, or on a workout bench, or even on a bed with no back support, like a stool, anything with no back, and they seem to be able to so easily and comfortably sit straight up, ergonomic, back arched, no problems whatsoever. And I can't figure out how they're able to do it. I've seen it at the gym recently. It popped back up in my mind when I was at the gym, and I see these women working out, and then during their rest, they're up on the bench, straight up, no problems whatsoever. They don't look uncomfortable at all. They don't look like they're what's the word I'm thinking? I'm not stressing over it, but straining to get to that position and get to a comfortable, like not painful, achy position. I see them in pictures, not just the Instagram pictures where you pose to look good, and then afterwards you're like, oh, I got to let the gut hang out a little bit, like what guys I'm sure do a lot. I've done it too, where you try to get the right angle and the right lighting to look good and natural, but we all know that's just posing for the camera. We have to know the angles and the poses and the how you doings. But I've seen them doing it in real life, and I don't know how they're doing it. I've tried to sit straight up on backless seating situations. Indian style or crisscross applesauce, sorry for the easily offended. I have to either hunch over, which is not comfortable, or I have to sit hands back on the ground, leaning back like that if you're looking in YouTube land. And that becomes uncomfortable after a little bit, because then your arms start to get the pins and needles, and you start falling asleep, and it's not comfortable. So I want to know how they're able to do that. Maybe they're secretly not comfortable and it's hurting them, but they know that it's the best for posture, and they're showing all these jabroni dudes out there like, we're better than you because we can sustain this position for an extended period of time and you can't. Either way, it's they're winning. It's working. And I just want to know how they're able to do it. Is it some sort of like just more natural flexibility that they have? I'm a stiff guy, so to speak. I do yoga occasionally, and I try to stretch up, every night, every other night to maintain mobility and flexibility. But comparatively, I'm not. If you go to a yoga sesh with me, I'm stiff. I'm not doing the positions very well. It's almost like I hit flexibility walls. Like it doesn't hurt, but I can only go so far, and it's like butting up against a wall if I'm trying to stretch or do a split or whatever. It's very strange. I guess that's what not flexible feels like. So anyway, I just want to know how they're doing it so I can try to do it because I want good posture. I hate slouching over. It hurts my back. I don't have the money to spend on those really top tier ergonomic chairs. I'm working up the money right now to get one of the stand up desks so I can do some standing. Eventually, I want to evolve to get the little walker treadmills that I could put under the desk because I spend a lot of time here at the Resolute desk. And my goal is to make something happen, be active and not hinder my future flexibility, mobility, health, and wellness and fitness because I have to spend a lot of time here at the desk. So I want to eventually move the Resolute desk to a different room and use it for, when I take my notes and journaling and reading and stuff like that and keep it pristine. I don't like the technology on top of this desk. I almost feel bad for the desk. It wasn't meant for that. It's meant for something greater. So I want to get a stand-up desk so I don't have to sit hunched over all the time. I want to get a better chair so I have good posture when I sit. This is not it. This chair is not it. I've had this chair since college, like 2006 time frame. So I need to get a new chair. I want to get the little walking treadmill so I can keep moving and active and get my steps in throughout the day. So my only time doing fitness is not my time at the gym. It's more often. I want the preponderance of my time to be more active and moving, over 50%. So I'd like to get there. Maybe that's going to help me get to the posture that these women it seems so easily be able to attain. I don't know, but if you're a lady out there, or if you know a lady out there, please hit the comments, call the hotline 202-670-1114. Please tell me how you're doing it. It looks so healthy and better for you. And I can't do it without it's a workout in itself for me. It's a workout in itself. And I don't know if it's probably a combination of factors. I'm not flexible. I'm working against where my muscles are on my body and the size of them. Not that they're big, but like that probably affects things a little bit. I also have a lot of weight in the front here with the schnoz, so that weighs me down and forward, and I'm trying to go up and back. So a lot of factors I understand, but let me know what you're doing to be able to do that so easily. I would love to be comfortable sitting down for a change. Anyway, that's that. Listen here, guys. This show is not meant to be, philosophical or deep. You're not gonna get the most valuable, thought-provoking stuff here. Okay? Sometimes you'll get some good nuggets we'll sneak in. When I'm flapping my gills, I'll sneak in something pretty decent. But for the most part, we're talking about good posture, sitting down on a stool. That's all. To me, that's valuable too. So these are the jokes, folks. All right. This next topic, this is what I'll say about it. Okay. In case you got your head in the sand purposely or incidentally, I'm purposely head in the sand a lot of times when it comes to the news and the TV media because it's mostly rubbish. I get my information from other sources, or I try to anyway. Excuse me. So if you haven't been paying attention to this has been big this past week. the government, somebody came out, I forgot who announced it initially, that the U.S. accidentally, I don't know if it's through the IRS or the State Department or what have you, accidentally sent $239 million to the Taliban. Okay. Now, I don't have any conspiratorial thoughts or opinions on this, like, oh, they did it on purpose for these reasons. There's a higher than likely chance that that it was an actual mistake, that they're just that stupid and inattentive and care so little about the taxpayers' money that they just made that mistake and it accidentally went to the Taliban. $239 million. Okay. And now I'm not trying to get on political rants here again, and we're trying to get away from that. But when you have people that are passionately and aggressively against higher taxes and this and that, it's not because we're selfish and we want to hoard money and we don't care about the good of the country, the people in this country. It's because we don't trust the people in charge of that money to do good with it. $239 million went right to the enemy, to the people we've been fighting for the past 20 plus years. That was our tax money, right to them. And I don't want to get into where the rest of the tax money has been going, because it's not going here in the U.S. That's what gets people so angry and fired up about the tax discussion. It's not because we don't think the public servants of the world, of this country, need to get paid. It's not because we don't think we should be helping other countries and providing them aid as actually needed, not fake need, but actually needed. It's not because we don't want to see our infrastructure here in the country be improved upon, maintained, and supported. That's exactly what we want. And none of our money is going to anything like that at all. It's going to the Taliban. That's crazy. I spent 14 years helping our military eliminate those guys. And so many others as well have done the same. And this entire time, the people paying us to do that are also paying them. Like, what are we doing? They don't care. The lack of accountability, nobody's going to get in trouble for this, especially since we got $9 billion unaccounted for going to Ukraine. We got trillions of dollars unaccounted for in the Pentagon budget. Trillions unaccounted for. And nothing happens to any of them. That money is just gone, just disappeared. Trillions of dollars of our taxpayer money. Trillions. That is crazy. And it gets me fired up. And I got to stop talking about this stuff. That's what it is. I can't. It's just mind-boggling to me. Okay? That's why I always think it's so important to actually think about and learn about who you're voting for, what positions, what power they have, because those are the people giving away our money to the enemy. That's what it is. That's it. These guys are to them, they're rich. I mean, these are guys walking around with no toilet. One of the, in my opinion, most important inventions of our time, plumbing and toilet. I've said it a 1,000 times. If I get kidnapped or held hostage or a prisoner of war, whatever, beat me up, put, bamboo shoots up my fingernails, electroshock my nips, whatever, I'll wear it. It'll hurt and I'll cry probably, but I'll wear. I'm still not talking. You put me in a dungeon or a cell or a cave with no toilet, especially with no toilet paper. That combo, I'll go bucket. I could do bucket. I could do corner. But if you couple that with no TP, no toilet, and no TP, look, somebody in America is getting ratted on. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm ratting on somebody. No toilet. This is the guy you really want right here, and I'll rat on all of you. You give me toilet, or we're gonna have a real problem. And these people that's their lives. No toilet. I've seen them. Their bathroom is outside in their yard. I watched it for years. And now you just give them 239 million plus 80 billion worth of our weapons and gear. I mean, it's almost like if I were them, I'd be like, this has to be a trick. These are all set to blow up, or the money has got the dye packs in it or something like that. It's like there's no way that the guys who have sworn to eliminate us for the past 2+ decades just accidentally gave us all this stuff. They should make a comedy movie about that with like Sacha Baron Cohen as like the Taliban leader, trying to figure out what the hell, what is this? This is a trick. Good on them. I mean, look, they're my enemy, but you gotta respect. You gotta respect their their progress, I guess. They've never been richer and more equipped. Crazy. Anyway, I'm done bitching about it. I gotta stop. I'm bad. I'm sorry. That's on me. Let's move on over into something else I can rant about, and that's the Yankees. If anybody saw the most recent Yankees series against the Chicago White Sox, you will know without a shadow of a doubt that this team is not a World Series team this year. Okay? Now, you could go back and look at the scores of the games, and you could see that, the Yankees won the series 2-1. 3-game series, they won 2 of them. And you can be like, no, the Yanks are still good to go. No. I watched the games. A lot of my friends didn't watch the games because it was so bad, but I kept them on all 3 games. The first game, the Yankees got 10-run ruled. Now, if you're not familiar with baseball, the Little League up through college even, there's a 10-run mercy rule. If you're beating a team by 10 or more runs from the 5th inning on, that's it. The game's over. They end the game. You mercy rule them. 10-run rule. They don't have that in the pros. They keep the games going. That's why you've seen some games that are like 18-2, 27-15, whatever it is. The Yankees lost 12-2. Okay. Some people might also, push back and be like, well, sometimes you get worked. You get beat by, like, just crushed by a team like that, and it happens. It doesn't happen when you're a first place team. The Yankees are technically still in first place in the AL East, in the American League East division. They keep putting out these public statements that they're a World Series contending team. All these analysts and commentators talk about how they're the top 5 in the running to win the World Series. Top 3, probably, I'd say. That was what they're saying. And you just got 10-run ruled by not just a bad team, the worst team, the worst MLB team, not just this season, in the history of the major leagues. Okay? 12-2 to the worst team in the history of baseball. They already accomplished that feat. The season's not even over yet, and they're going to have the worst record in the history of Major League Baseball. And I was laughing about it with the creature because he's the baseball guy. We always talk baseball. And he brought up a really funny point of like, imagine you're the worst team in history and you're playing what everybody is saying is the best team in the league right now. I don't know. I don't know what these guys are drinking, what Kool-Aid they're drinking, but everybody's saying, "Oh, the Yankees are they got Judge and Soto and Garrett Cole, so they're the best team." And they come up and they just put a 12 spot on this team, and and we were joking that they're walking back to into the clubhouse and they're looking back at the Yankees after they just absolutely bent them over a barrel and showed them the 50 states, and they're like, "These guys stink. These Yankees stink. How did you lose to the worst team in history by that much?" They got absolutely dominated. It wasn't even close. Utterly dominated. Then the next game, now you're going to say again, oh, the Yankees won 4-1. That's I know in the scorecard, it's a win. A win's a win. Got it. Whatever. But I watched the game. I'm talking about a team's ability to win a World Series, not just to win games. The Yankees are able to win games, clearly. They're not going to win the World Series because I watched the game. You can watch them play and you can see. They won 4-1 because Juan Soto hit 3 home runs in the game and got all 4 RBIs. The only person to score was Juan Soto and one other person when he hit a 2-run home run. Okay? And the bullpen barely hung on by a thread to win the game, which again, in the books, it doesn't say barely won. Got it. But even up until the last inning, they had, I forgot the guy's name who came in to get the save. And he loaded the bases up and it was sweating it out. And you could hear it in the voices of the commentators in the crowd, like the Sox, even up until the last out of that game, they were in it. They had it. They knew that they had a chance, like, oh, one hit and we can be right back. We're gonna get this game. So, and if you look at it, besides Soto, the Yankees got dominated. Everybody else did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then the third game, the Yankees won 10-2, I think it was. 11-2. 12, maybe they won by 10. I don't know. The scorecard reads domination. Okay? And it was, by all accounts, a dominant victory. Again, it wasn't a barely win. Got it. But that didn't happen until the 6th inning. So if you add them all together, because the White Sox, by the way, the third game, the White Sox went to their bullpen in the 6th inning after it was 2-2. Actually, the Sox were winning up through the 5th. And then they went to the bullpen. The Yanks tied it up on a sac fly that Oswaldo Cabrera scored from second. It was a deep fly ball by Verdugo. The outfielder for the Sox caught it off the wall and he fell, maintained the catch. But Cabrera was able to tag up, go to third, end the home, and tie the game. And the Yankees were celebrating like they won the World Series. Now, it's exciting to tie up a game like that for sure, but against the worst team in the history of baseball, and it's the 5th inning, and that's how happy you are to be able to score 1 run to tie a game against the worst team in MLB history, another indication that they're not World Series contenders. And then the White Sox finally, after 3 games, showed why they're the worst team in MLB history. And they had this one fat reliever. I don't know his name. I'll have to look it up, and I'll tell you why in a sec. He starts walking everybody. He can't throw a strike to save his life. He ends up throwing a pitch, ball 4, walks a guy, fakes an injury. I watched the replay 15 times. I kept rewinding it and going back. He didn't twist his ankle. His cleats did not get stuck in the dirt at all. He just had a regular motion. He threw a ball, and he fell and said he hurt his ankle. And that's why the White Sox that's where they finally showed why they're the worst team, because they have mental midgets like that guy out there. I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble for saying the M word. Sorry for this ultra sensitive. But that's where the beta bitch boy came out for the Sox. And that guy was like, oh, I can't throw strikes. I'm cooked. I got to get my fat ass out of here. And that's when the wheels started falling apart. And the Yankees finally, after 2.5 games, were finally able to do to the White Sox what they should have been doing to the White Sox since the 1st inning of the 1st game. And even the announcer said in the first game, before the game started, this series, the Yankees have to sweep this series. There is no reason why they shouldn't easily sweep this series against the worst team in baseball. And they squeaked by. They won 2, but they didn't start actually playing like they should have been playing against the White Sox until the 6th inning of the 3rd game. So long story longer, that's proving our point. They are not World Series contending team. I want them to be so bad. But Judge and Soto can't do it all. They're the only ones doing anything. They got Oswald Peraza back finally, back from the minors, and he was injured in the beginning of the season. He came back pretty strong. He started off his debut hot with a home run. But DJ LeMahieu has had like 3 hit and runs in a row where he didn't hit the ball and left the batter, left the base stealer out there, the runner, on his own. Luckily, they stole the base anyway because of bad throws by the catchers. But this poor guy was the best hitter in the league to the worst player in the league right now, all around, overnight almost. The only person worse is Gleyber Torres. And I know all I do is bitch about the Yankees. It sounds like, well, Kyle, how are you even a fan? It's because I still want them to win. I still like them. I watch every game I support. I want them to win. I love watching Judge and Soto. I like Garrett Cole. I like Nestor. He stinks this year, but I always like Nesty. I want to see them do good. I want to see Volpe do good. I want to see the young guys come up. Austin Wells is doing much better behind the dish and at the plate. So I want to see them win. I just am so tired of when they show who they are and the front office and the announcers and the analysts are still pretending like there's nothing to see here, folks. They're awesome. Like, you could just tell the truth. Hey, we're not there yet, guys. We're going to work through it. That's what I don't like. It's the lies. It's the lies. Anyway, let's get to the good stuff. We got some hotline calls to get to in the Junction. So with that, step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Mario's Mobile Meatballs. You ever have a hankering for a top-tier meatball snack, but you're on the road or you're not in a position to carry around a Tupperware of snack balls? Then call Mario today. Mario's Mobile Meatballs are homemade balls made by Mario's mother, Big Margaret, and come in a patented-to-go belt holster dispenser combination. So when you get that craving, you could go from, what did I say? You could go from ball to mouth in less than 2.9 seconds. Simply hit the dispenser button and the fresh, hot meatball will fall right into your hand. So to get your meatball fix today, visit www.mariosmeat.com, and if you use the promo code LUBEDUP, you'll get a free mobile marinara dipper. I don't know. I kind of feel like we had a competing mobile meatball situation sponsor years ago. I'm getting them all mixed up. But I had a hankering for meatballs a couple of days ago. And that's how we got here, folks. So, anyway, I don't know why I get so heated about the Yankees. I think it's because I'm invested in them. And when you're invested and you want them to be good and they don't do good, you just get disappointed. Your emotions get the best of you. And I got to be better about following the big three with that. Anyway, the Cage fact. I know the Wet Cat is tracking this because he sent some information to me about it. I know a couple other guys are tracking this that listen to the show. But for all these out there who aren't following Nic Cage news or even Hollywood news in general, it was just announced. I wish this was a live show, like a stream, that I could get people in the chat to guess. But you'll never guess what role Nic Cage just got selected to play coming soon. I don't know when they're going to start filming, but it's confirmed. It's not rumors, it's confirmed. You'll never guess. I talked to my brother Nicky Sticks about this to ask him to guess, and he was floored by the result. Nic Cage is set to play John Madden in the upcoming, is it biopic or biopic? Biopic movie about John Madden and about the creation of the Madden video game. Nic Cage is going to be John Madden. And if I remember, I'll post a picture up here in YouTube, bang, of Nic Cage wearing like a fat suit and dressing the part. He didn't dye his hair or anything yet, but he's already getting into the role. He's already doing Nic Cage, nouveau shamanic, whatever his acting style is to get into the role. Pictures of him. Bang. John Madden. Nic Cage as John Madden. I can't wait for this to come out. As if his recent run the past couple years wasn't good enough. This is a role. His other roles he's been great at. Long Legs, incredible. He did incredible. And I know I'm biased. So I say that he does great in every movie, but you got to go see it for yourself. That should be an award-winning role for him there in and of itself. But this movie, this John Madden role, this is a movie that would hit the masses and be an Academy Award type of movie where those jerk-offs in Hollywood would actually put this movie on the list because it's not independent. It's a big-time role. It's a big-time movie. This is the one that would get him back on the red carpet. He should, like I said, he should get it from other roles. Long Legs it might have been his best performance for a particular role. But John Madden, and if you don't know who John Madden is, first slap yourself upside the head, then go look up John Madden. Coach of the Raiders, NFL commentator, absolute character, created, the name behind the most popular sports video game of all time, I'd say. So I'm excited. Look, when you see this picture, bang, it's going to be tremendous. Let me tell you, it's just going to be tremendous. All right. That's the Cage fact. That's it. We'll move on over to the Junction. We'll spin the logo up. Got a couple hotline calls. Should be pretty quick. Nice, easy day of the Junction. Hotline calls. I got a little bit of surprise for you at the end before we get to the big three, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll have a good rest of your weeks, or whenever you're listening to this, have a good rest of your day, and everything will be hunky-dory. All right. With that, where the heck am I here? Let's get into the first call. All right. Thanks for that call. I don't know who that was. I have a guess. I could see the area code, so I have a guess who it is. But thanks for the Mr. Hanky. Listen, Mr. Hanky is the dump from South Park, the magic dump that comes on Christmas time. And so if you watch South Park, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you can go check it out. You can Google if you want, but you don't have to. It's not worth it. So decent Mr. Hanky right there. What I hope is not going to happen is we're going to get, a secret pedo on our hands like we did with Mickey, who's always talking about boys and stuff. We don't want that. So I'm going to keep an eye out on Mr. Hanky, and hopefully they keep everything, above board PG in the future. But anyway, yeah, thanks for the call there. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next call here and see what we got.
John, just calling to see your thoughts on the Taliban's most recent military parade, and then also the wonderful scam that the Taliban has run to get multiple millions of dollars from the U.S. government while we sit here and flounder inside the country. Stay strong.
Yeah, thanks for the call. So I kind of bitched about this a little bit earlier. So sorry for inadvertently stepping on you on your question there, but I won't get too much further into it. I will say this. It's tough. It was tough to watch. And I'm not trying to be dramatic or, anything like that. I'm not a dramatic type of guy. I don't like to do that stuff, but it was tough to watch, especially when you're out, when you were physically out there, fighting these guys. That's what was tough, is like, you told us this was our enemy. You told us for decades this was our enemy. And then you leave them with all of our stuff and our millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they had a military parade. The Taliban had a military parade, flying our helicopters, driving our vehicles in this parade. Humvees, MRAPs, all of it. Blackhawks, chopper, all the stuff in our gear with our weapons. You just gave it to them. In a cowardly retreat, you left U.S. people there. You left all of the Afghan people who helped us, the interpreters, the support people, the people we promised to protect and take care of, because their lives were threatened. Because they were helping us, their families' lives and their lives were threatened. They were going to be executed if the Taliban got them. And we told them we'd protect them. And we bailed on them. And we got 13 of our own military members killed in the process. And I don't care what your political beliefs are. I am hard pressed to find any mental gymnastics out there that actually even remotely justifies this, because I know that's what a lot of people do. If it's your guy in the White House or in the political positions of power that does this stuff, you want to do the mental gymnastics to defend them and be an apologist for them and this and that, because you don't want to admit that your guy was responsible for this. It's not just one guy. It's it's the president, the Congress, and the Senate. They all have a say in it. The generals all have a say in it. It was a failure of epic proportions. So I have a hard time having any sympathy or understanding for anybody who's trying to justify this, or who deflects and says, "Well, the other guy would have been worse." Shut up. Okay? In my personal humble opinion, shut up. This was one of the most embarrassing, despicable, disrespectful things that we've done publicly, and that's not large of a size in a long time. That was so public and affected so many people that quickly. It was an absolute cowardly retreat. I know why they did it, because they didn't care about the people out there. It was a political chess move to say, we withdrew from Afghanistan. Look at us. We're the best. And they also knew that all the contract companies that make that equipment and produce those aircraft and those vehicles and those guns and ammos and stuff, they're all going to be rolling in dough very soon, because they need to replenish that for the U.S. And it equips an enemy that we could go back and fight at a later time to keep the money train rolling. And I'm putting my tin hat on a little bit here, my tinfoil hat on, but that's what it was about, in my 1 cent opinion. And it was heartbreaking to see. But again, my self-defense mechanism, try to find the funny in it. I'm just imagining some of these Talibans wearing man dresses and sandals, but then bulletproof vests and state-of-the-art helmets and night vision goggles in the middle of the day. Maybe a couple of them accidentally blinded themselves for doing that. And they're in these vehicles having this parade, and somebody has to be like, this got to be a trick, right? These are going to all set to blow at any moment, right? No trick. Sorry. I don't I don't see that happen. There's no trick guys, unfortunately for us. So yeah, long story short, I'm not happy about it. Um, that's it. I'm done. Long story longer, I'm done. Anyway, thank you for the call. Move on to the next guy and see what we got here. I think this actually might be the last call. So, like I said, quick, easy junction, couple calls. I love the hotline, guys. Okay. If you have something to say or a question to ask, or a joke or an impression or a comedy bit you want to try out, please put it in the hotline 202-670-1114. I do love the interactions. I believe it ends up being more entertaining that way because you guys are involved in it. And I know I'm very bad at reminding people that the hotline exists throughout the weeks and stuff like that. I get it. That's on me. But I would love to get your hotline calls. So keep them coming. Anyway, last call here.
Hey, Johnny, Tony Saccone here. I just wanted to commend you on your last video in speaking about your baseball coach that mentored you and changed your life. What an amazing thing to hear from somebody. That's great. You know, we should all have people in our lives that can affect us that way, and especially being that he was able to bring you together with 4 or 5 other friends you've lived with for the last 17 or 18 years, however it's been. You know, life is not easy. Life is tough. We have to, as you say, stand strong. But the bottom line is friendship. And your boy Skip is more than a friend. He's like a guardian angel to you. And we need to have people like that in the world that can help us. And I saw all the emotion that you had in speaking of him, which is great, because it's great to see somebody caring about somebody as much as you do, that fella, and being appreciative of what you do. There's only one question now that I have left for you. I think the question of saying, with the big 3 you say of each and every week, you always bring, I would think, obviously it's your show, it's up to you, to mention if people change by staying strong with people and not being, as you say, a shitty person, that if someone does change your life, we should all feel the same way, that what we need to do is being thankful for that. We should always be thankful and say that we need to do that for somebody else. You know, again, life is short. We need to stay together, stand strong, keep the faith with each other in peace, but helping to do, and in your case, throughout your rest of your life, if you find the opportunity to help someone as he helped you, man, you talk about the best things in life. Money can't buy that. Money can't buy helping someone and seeing someone grow in their life and being affected by that person who made that happen. All right, then, but I don't want to carry on. I know you got things to do, and we all have things to do. But the main thing is also, you better get those tomatoes and those peppers growing, because I don't want to say I can't count on you, but I'm counting on you to get me those tomatoes and peppers, hopefully within the next month or so. Okay, buddy. Again, stand strong. Great video. I appreciate that, and I think hopefully anyone else who listens to it feels the same way. Have a good day. Have a good week, and as I say, also keep plugging and look for that guy that you could make a better life for, and change their life in any way as the Skip changed your life. All right, Sarge. Take care now. Bye-bye.
All right, great call right there from Tony Sacco. I hope he doesn't get mad. We know Sacco is not his real last name, but that was what it was a funny what we thought it was, or what a fan thought it was initially, and that's like his mafia moniker now, Tony Sacco. So great call, thank you for that. I agree. I like what you said about sort of paying it forward when it comes to that. When you have that guardian angel, that mentor in your life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the previous episode. Was it number 225? Watch that one, listen to that one on iTunes, Spotify, or YouTube. and you'll know what we're talking about here. Okay, obviously I'm not going to rehash it all, but go check that episode out, 225, and you'll understand a little bit what that call was about. But when you have that sort of person that changes your trajectory of life for the better in that way, yeah, you want to pay it forward. And I do think that if you follow the big three, you're going to open up those opportunities to do it. You're going to be able to have that positive impact on more people because you yourself are a better human being and a more positive, healthy, happier human being. So I like what you said about that. I appreciate it. I'm working on the tomatoes and peppers. Okay. I know I'm not dogging on that. My efforts are there. They'll be there. It might be later in the fall, but the tomatoes and peppers will be there. You'll get a nice hearty sauce. You get a little bit of the spice from the hot peppers to warm you up in the colder weather up there in the Northeast. They're coming. Please continue to be patient. I appreciate your patience with it. I'm cultivating something great here, I believe. And it's just taking a little bit of time. So thank you again for the call. That was awesome. Like I said, I love all hotline calls. So thank you for the support. Now, speaking of which, before we get into the big three, I don't want to call this a surprise because people aren't going to listen to this and be like, oh my God, what a shocker, what a surprise. I love that he did this. But again, go back and watch episode 225 or listen to it and you'll understand what I'm saying here. But this is the email that I sent to my old coach in college when he first got with the program at Embry-Riddle. This is the email I sent him, and this is why I am so grateful and also shocked that I got the opportunity that I did. Because like I said previously, anybody with half a brain who sees this email and reads this deletes it, doesn't even give it the time of day, let alone respond to it, set up an in-person meeting, and then give me the opportunity that they did. So he saved this email, and I got it from, he sent it back to me. And this is from August 15th of 2007. So right now I'm recording this. So I'm recording this on the 17th of August, 2024. So this is almost 17 years to the day later. Okay, and this is the email. And this is when I had a Yahoo email address. Dear Coach Stiegel, this email stinks. Dear Coach Stiegel, my name is John Libretti, and I would like to introduce myself to you since I have not played baseball yet for Embry-Riddle, but I am most eager to try out for the team. I played second base with experience at third base, along with some shortstop and outfield play. Don't know why I didn't mention catcher. Most of my experience was catching, and I have almost no shortstop experience. Don't know why I mentioned that. I'm in my third year at Embry-Riddle and will graduate in 2010. Again, that's a separate story. If I haven't talked about it already, I'll talk about it some other time. And I am enrolled in Air Force ROTC. I played my high school baseball, in parentheses, and 4 years of soccer. Don't know why that mattered. I guess because I'm showing that I'm a good athlete overall. At Seton Hall Prep in West Orange, New Jersey. I was captain of the baseball team my senior year in 2005 when we were ranked number 1 in New Jersey, and at the end of the year, number 21 nationally. We are a perennial baseball champion in New Jersey, and we won states that year in 2005. I only tell you this so that you will understand that I come from a highly motivated and disciplined high school background such as that of Embry-Riddle. Our coach, Mike Shepard, high school coach, ran double practices from late winter with the first practice starting at 7 a.m., so I am accustomed to a very rigorous regimen. I did try out for Embry-Riddle my freshman year and did not make the squad, but the previous coach did encourage me to continue trying and gave me some pointers which improved my game. Last year, I had a stress fracture to my foot and could not play. I was able to try out, but I didn't. After my fracture situation, but I still didn't make the team, so it was a waste. So I didn't want to mention that I got cut twice, I guess. So this year, however, I have worked hard and will be coming to school in top shape, ready to try out. That was true. I was ready to rock and roll. Not as much as I needed to be, but we didn't know what we were getting into during tryouts. Anyway, Since you have never seen me play baseball, I would like to give you a little information on my strengths and skills. I'm 5'8" tall. That's a lie. Okay? I know you probably hate the commentary I'm giving, but this is a little context as to why this email is such bullshit. I'm 5'7" in sneakers, maybe. Probably 5'6.5" without them. 5'8", I was very generous with that. 5'8", weigh 175. That's true. This is where it got weird. This is an email. Listen to me. I got to keep breaking with this commentary. This is an email I sent to a head coach of a college baseball program who I never met in person before. Their first week on the job. Okay? 5'8", 175 pounds. My legs are very strong, and I was always a good base runner with good speed. I hit well throughout high school and summer ball, where I have played with a wood bat since I was 14. I believe my fielding skills are exceptional. Not true. At second base, and I was trained quite well on learning the basics and nuances of the game. That's true. I think and this is not a brag, I always felt I had good baseball smarts. I wouldn't say my outward skills were exceptional by any stretch of the term. I have seen many Embry-Riddle games the past 2 years, and we have a great team. I would love to be part of it. I hope that you will give me some consideration and allow me to try out for your team. Please let me know if you are conducting tryouts and when and where they will take place. If you wish for any further information about me, please contact me and I will have it forwarded to you by my previous coaches, or I'll have them contact you as needed. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, John P. Libretti IV from Yahoo. Again, that guy, new head coach, he came from a different program. He was a head college baseball coach from a different college baseball program. First week on the job, he gets that email from me. All right. And like I said, he not only read it and didn't delete it, he responded. We met in person and he gave me the opportunity to try out. That's crazy, especially after we met in person and he realized I wasn't 5'8" and I probably didn't have an ounce of athletic ability like I was blabbering on about in that email. And why'd I have to tell him my legs were strong? That's weird. Imagine him reading that. He's like, why is this kid telling me about his legs? That guy, that idiot gave me the chance. Anyway, that's all I got today, folks. I love these hotline days. We only had 3, very quick, but maybe a refreshing change of pace for us. Love the hotline days. Keep them coming. Before we go, very quickly, the big 3, the 3 pillars to staying strong and being a better, happier, kinder, healthier, more genuine human being and being able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you and throughout the land. Number 1, exercise every day. Whatever you got to do at least one thing to focus on your physical, mental, or emotional fitness and health and wellness each day. So whether it's a full workout, jumping jacks, going for a walk after a meal, or breaking a mental sweat, reading a book, learning a new skill, doing a crossword puzzle, or praying, meditating, breath work, do one thing every day to improve your physical, mental, or emotional fitness. Number 2, the hardest one to do, don't be a shitty person, be a kind person. Whenever the opportunity arises to be shitty to somebody or just say something negative and chaotic and divisive, just put it out in the ether. I know emotionally it's very difficult to do, but acknowledge those emotions that trigger inside of you. Take the LPDS step back and just don't engage. Remove yourself from the situation. Don't send out that post. Don't repost it on your story. Don't respond to that person, that shitty person, with another shitty response. Take the LPDS step back. Go focus on more positive, productive things in your lives. That way you minimize the shit and the negativity in the world, and you give yourself the capacity to go be more positive and productive in your life. And you'll feel better for it in the long run. The less time you're in the negative and stewing in your emotions like that, the better it is for your mental and emotional health and wellness. Okay? But I get it. It's hard to do. I struggle with it on a daily basis. Number 3, the most important one. Be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And even if you start out by just thinking about one thing each day that's good in your life and what your life would be like without that, that will put you in the state of gratitude. That's a good state to be in. And if you do that more and more throughout each day and throughout your life, you'll be better for it. And you couple that with not being a shitty person, and you couple that with exercising every day, and I promise you, you're going to be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, more genuine human being, and you'll be able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you. And you'll be able to have those impacts, those positive impacts like Skip had on me and had on many others. You'll be able to pay it forward in that regard and give those people that impact, that aha moment, that eureka, impactful moment in their lives like I received, and others I'm sure I've received as well in the past. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit your notifications, and tell your friends and enemies, and hit that hotline 202-670-1114. Leave the voicemail. We'll play it on the air. It could be whatever you want. Send it to your friends and enemies. Send it to telemarketers. Have them call you back on that number so they can call in the hotline 202-670-1114. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.